most was promised. The setbacks, the doubt, the nights nobody saw. I stopped asking why and started moving forward. Because when you don't quit, life eventually shows you the reason. Every hit I took, every roadblock in my way was all leading here. Fenway behind me, the city watching. This isn't luck, this is destiny. I'm headlining the most historic card in New England combat sports history on February 21st. Cage Titan Revolution, MGM Boston, February 21st. Are you ready to be entertained?
Monotony. It comes in all shapes and sizes. Dull, tedious, just plain boring. But what is this? A contender, perhaps? Something unboring by the looks of it. Jabs right at dull, an uppercut to tedium, something that keeps you on your toes, keeps your head on a swivel, a knockout punch to your old, boring workouts. Welcome to Fight Camp.
Master Yoda I am. And listen you must to hulazoom.com.
movie, music, news, television promos, trailers and videos used in this production are protected by the Fair Use Act. Section 107 of the Copyright Act. 1. The purpose and character of the use, including whether such use is of commercial nature or is for nonprofit educational purposes. 2. The nature of the copyrighted work. 3. The amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. 4. The effect of the use upon the potential market for, or value of, the copyrighted work.
What does Marcellus Wallace look like?
What?
What country you from?
What?
What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
What?
English, motherfucker! Do you speak it?
Yes.
Then you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like.
What?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
He's black.
Go on.
He's bald.
Does he look like a bitch?
What?
Does he look like a bitch?
No!
Then why you try to fuck him like a bitch, Brett?
He didn't.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Brett. You tried to fuck him. And Marcellus Wallace don't like to be fucked by anybody except Mrs. Wallace. You read the Bible, Brett?
Yes.
Well, there's this passage I got memorized. Sort of fits this occasion. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
This is blasphemy. This is madness. This is the rule. Broadcasting from the City of Champions, Brockton, Massachusetts, with your host, Keith Sinista1 Hayes.
It's your boy Sinista1 broadcasting live from the City of Champions. It is February 10th, and I'm so excited. I want to get right into my first guest. I've seen this woman online, but you guys don't get it. Let me get to my sponsors. Let me not piss off my sponsors. Tactical Target Systems, Michael Douglas Barretto, MDB Electronics. If you see me gaming online, and if your controller sticks or drifts, that's the guy I send my Xbox controller to get rebuilt. Viana Marie, that's the artist that I manage. Her music is out there everywhere, 494,000 streams. It's Personal is her last album. Again, Tactical Target Systems. That is the targets that you see me with when I'm at the range. And then I Love Boston Sports. Shout out to Marlon Williams. He's super busy right now. And make sure to get down there to South Shore Plaza and see him. And then, ladies, if you wish to take some photos that you never thought you would take for a special person in your life or someone that might be your husband or your boyfriend, reach out to Kimberly Ann Empowerment Photography. What Kimberly Ann does is she takes ladies and puts them in this environment where they say, I could never take pictures like that. She gets you feeling comfortable. She gets you feeling empowered. and she takes these pictures that you can give to a loved one or keep privately for yourself to boost your self-esteem up. Viana Marie, my artist, is pictured right there in the photo. So Kimberly Ann Empowerment Photography. Also, Underwatch Protective Services, Mobile Patrol, Foot Patrol, Armed Guards, Unarmed Guards. Reach out to him if you need any type of security. Underwatch Protective Services. And then my buddy from high school, call Larry. Reach out to him for any handyman services at 774-826-6549. And then before we get into the news booth, well, let me just mention the news booth. In the news booth, this is a story that I mention every week until this young man is caught. Turn him in, Da Vinci Leonard. He killed 2 people outside of Urban Air in Westgate Mall. The word is he's in Haiti. Until this young man is caught, we will continue to mention this on the show every week until he is caught. Turn him in. And now I've had a lot of people on this show, from the UFC to Patriots to, I've had a ton of people on this show. And I'm like giddy right now. And for those who know me, you know my mother. My mother was a big horror movie and soap opera fan. And one of the things that my mom used to do was watch soaps during the day and made us watch it. One of her favorite soap operas was Days of Our Lives, along with All My Children, along with Young and the Restless. But my mom's number 1 and number 2 was All My Children and Days of Our Lives. I'm a guy that grew up watching soaps with my mother, and this woman was on that show. She got a supporting actress Emmy for her character Nancy on this show. I am freaking honored right now. I'm like super giddy to have Patrika Darbo on this show. What's up? How's it going?
Going great. Thank you for asking me here. And all those sponsors, he takes care of you, so take care of him. Okay. I'm back, and let's catch that mother, whether he's in Haiti or not, because he's a thief and a murderer. And you know what? He gives all of us a bad name when we can't catch him. So let's turn him in. And now I'm back to you. Hi.
Wow.
I think we should all take care of one another, and I appreciate that people sponsor stuff. I do have one little correction. I was nominated for an Emmy for Days of Our Lives, but I did not win.
That's
I
right,
won an
that's
Emmy
right.
for I did win an Emmy for a primetime Emmy for Acting Dead, which was the first short form, and I also won an Emmy for The Bay, in supporting, I think it was, and that's a whole scandal thing that we won't get into, but that's true too.
And if
Anyway.
you guys follow her, she's very vocal online. And one of the things I liked about us that we connected with online is our love for animals. We both have a distinctive love for animals. My Joopy is in the background behind me, asleep on this couch. She is a forever home dog that I, rescued during COVID. And, both our hearts are in the right place. And I just wanted to let you talk about that, because you've done a lot, I've seen, with, animals and things of that sort.
Thank you. I think most people don't realize, they always want a name brand dog, like a name brand coat or a name brand purse. But the animals, there are a lot of strays, and there are a lot of animals right this moment that are just little mutts. I have a little mutt sitting next to me right this moment. But if you want a pedigree, there are so many people. There's poodle people, and there's poop puff people, and there's corgis, and there's shepherds, and there's all kinds of full-blooded animals with papers that have been abused or turned in because people don't have time for them. For me, I'm pets, vets, and children. Don't mess with either of them if I'm in the same room with you, because all hell will break loose. Our veterans are not protected enough. Our kids are not protected enough. There's a dumbing down of America, in my opinion. Kids are not learning in school, and they just did a thing where the kids don't even finish going to movies. They pay their $20 to get in there for their popcorn and their movie, and 3/4 of the way home, they start talking and don't care about other people around them or getting on their cell phones. If I'm in the theater and that happens, there will be all hell to pay there too, because I like to finish what I start. So I am an actress, but I'm also old, and I'm vocal, and I have a right to be. But I think there is a dumbing down of America, and I think parents need to step up and tell the schools, No cell phones in there. We had to learn to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, do algebra and all that stuff with a piece of paper and a pencil. We didn't have a phone in the room that we could just ask what the questions were. That's BS, quite frankly. BS. And y'all know what BS stands for. Anyway, so that's it. We're really here to talk about soap, so maybe I'll keep my mouth shut for just a moment.
No, look, I love it. I love it. I love when guests come on and they're very open because it means you're comfortable with the interview, and I love it. And you know what? You're sitting here and you're going on about this, and I'm like, I got to add a preach. Like I do a little thing with sound bites and clips when people just go on, and you just inspired me to add preach because what you're just saying
There you
here.
go. But sometimes we got to preach and we got to stand up, and we've got to stop being afraid. We need to speak up. We need to stop being afraid. You know what? I'm a product, as I say on my hat, that says I was born in the 40s. Honey, I've seen a lot of changes, and I've
right.
never seen a loss of democracy like we're seeing right this moment. And quite frankly, it's appalling, and everybody has an opinion. Everybody wants to do that. But when you cut your arm or prick your finger, it all bleeds red blood. We are one people, one people. So stop all this segregated crap now. I mean, it's ridiculous. So anyway, I'm sputtering here now. We only have half an hour.
Look. I got legendary Patrika Darbo on the show, spitting facts and preaching right now on my show, bro. This is some stuff, and it's funny because
that's what my publicist always says. Just get to the point. Don't start rattling off. I said I can't help it. I just have to say what's on my mind when it's on my mind. And everybody should speak up. Gray powers, baby. Gray powers. Black powers. White powers. Yellow powers. Whatever. Go. Speak up. Resist all this crap. You know, I'm just tired of the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. It's just ridiculous. And our veterans being on the street, give me a effing break. And you all know what effing is too. So stop it. You know, these people sacrifice their, okay, I got to stop because I'm on a platform now and I should. Back to days of our lives.
You actually just said something that is actually part of this show. One of the things I talk about in this show is that sometimes it's not about Republicans or Democrats. I says, because no matter who's in the office, the rich stay rich, the poor stay poor, and the middle class carries everybody on their backs. And that's been
and we're being phased out, so there won't be anyone to carry anybody anymore. So, you know, it's like, it's just ridiculous. I mean, and the fact that, I'm sorry, that the people in Congress don't hard enough breasts and don't have a pair of hard enough nuts to stand up to the violence and the crap that's going on right this moment. Grow a pair, up here or down there. Grow a pair and start taking care of the people that elected you. Okay, I'm over that one now,
Here we go. Now we're going to talk about some days of our lives. And what I was getting to before we got into this interview, my mother had me watching soap operas. And many years ago, and I'm not sure if you ever came through here in Massachusetts, but every year at this amusement park down in Fall River was an amusement park called Lincoln Park. It was this huge amusement park. And every year they'd have this event where the soap opera stars would all come from all the networks. It was a huge event. The key to this event, though, when you went and met the soap opera stars and there was a question period, the key to this event was very unique. All of the actors and actresses were in character. So when you went to this event every year at this amusement park, the people weren't there as themselves. You know, you were there, you would be there as Nancy Wesley. Susan Lucci would be there as Erica Kane. So they would be in character. And I remember we went one year, and I believe it was Susan Lucci as Erica on the stage, and my mom, who loves soap operas, she got up there and she was able to ask a question, and the question she asked was kind of revealing something that was supposed to happen in the soap opera, and Erica was in character and got pissed and was like, "What do you mean he's cheating on me?" And oh, it was great. It was great stuff. It was one of these things where I realized in that moment how important soap operas were to my mom. You don't see soap operas as much as today on television, but back then in the 70s, 80s, 90s, soap operas were a big major part of networks. You set your VCR up to record shows religiously.
They paid for it. The soaps paid all the advertising they paid. They kept the networks on the air. There was more there. So they used to do great events like that. Now there's individual events done here and there and here and there and like this. But I had a very on-camera career and film career before I was invited to be on the soaps, which was the biggest thrill of my life. I thought I was going to serve peanuts and beer, and then suddenly they show me Kevin Spiritus says he's my husband, and I'm rich and loaded, and I'm going to be a Susan Lucci type person. Anyway, I was like, what? What? Where? I have to say it was one of the most fabulous things to be invited to do. I have met so many people. I have so many fans who've become friends. They're in my Rolodex. Listen to me, Rolodex. How many people know what a Rolodex is? Anyway, they're in my phone, and I'm in their phone. I've had Thanksgiving with them in their own homes and stuff when I've done it. And they are the most loyal fans, loyal fans. I will tell you that my own grandmother would not leave the house unless she saw her stories, and her story was Y&R. And she never got to see me on the soaps. So I regret that. But in heaven, I hope she's looking down and knows that I did that and probably going like that, bite the soap for the many things you just said a minute ago. To punish me.
No. So it's funny.
She wouldn't go anywhere, but she didn't have a VCR.
Oh.
Okay. So we went to visit. Now, we're living in California. We're going to visit in Wisconsin, where my grandmother lived. And my grandmother let's go to lunch. No, I can't. My story's on. I'm not going. So we went out to lunch and bought her a complete VCR system. We got all kinds of tapes for her and stuff like that. The next day, let's go to lunch. She says, no, I don't know if that thing works. So we put it in, taped it, and everything like that. And then when it was over, she had to look and say, oh, it works and stuff. So we showed her how to program it every day so she'd get her soaps. Anyway, but she was not going. I'm not going. I have another fan whose daughter was in a ride-along with a police officer, broke her arm. They wanted to call her mother, and she said, what time is it? And the policeman says it's 12:45 or 1 o'clock. Anyway, she said, I can't go. I'm not telling you. Well, you've got to tell us. We've got to take you to the hospital. We need a parent. I'm not telling you till days of our lives is over. My mother will kill me like this. So, I mean, I truly think they are the greatest, hardest working, most loyal fans ever, and I love each and every one of them. I was pleased, my grandmother would have been so happy to know that I did Some Young and the Restless, and that I was on CBS on Bold and the Beautiful as well, and had a great part there. Thank you to the Bell family for both of those, and thank you to Ken for letting me come on there and star on Days of Our Lives.
What kind of impact? Because I watch soap operas with my mom. I know how big. What kind of impact do you think soap operas would be if social media was back then?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
Social media. What kind of impact do you think soap operas would have had on social media if it was around back then?
And because we come into your home every single day,
yep,
it would have been held to be. I mean, it would have been unbelievable. I mean, numbers would have crashed and stuff. As it was, they were getting big audiences anyway because of families watching, mothers saying, take your nap now. I'm watching my stories now. So it was social media would have just, oh my God, this is what's happening. I mean, I do remember that. I know that, now I can't think of the actress's name. Just a second, it'll come to me, but so I may have to come back. But families talked about it. They may not be in the same state or anything like that, but they'd watch the episode, then call each other at night and discuss it. Now, if they'd had texting and stuff, it would have been immediate kind of things like that.
Right.
So, I mean, that's amazing to me and stuff like that. I think the whole industry has changed so much. I mean, now the attention span of people is just like 15 minutes. So that's why some of the vertical things they're doing, some of the little short stories that TikTok is doing, those kind of things are now on the boards and stuff like that. But it's
I feel you because
but the soaps are still there. But remember too, Keith, there were like 22 and 24 soaps. I think there were still 12 to 15 when I started in 98. And then now there's only 4 left, 2 on CBS, 1 on ABC, and 1 on NBC. And it's not even on NBC, it's on Peacock. So they've sort of dismissed those. But when you go to a fan event, there's lots of people there to come and see them, and they love and adore them. And a lot of us as actors, when we go to these events, oh my God, Irma, there you are. Oh, look at the Colossus here. We get crazy. My friends Diana and Irma, I mean, they live in Florida. I've been with them so much. I mean, they've become very good friends over the last 20 something years. So, like I said, they're the most loyal and wonderful. And you had asked me a little bit to say about super couples. I mean, we have John and Marlena, and of course we've lost John, Bo and Hope. There are so many things from Days of Our Lives that were there, but Susan Lucci and her multiple husbands, those were like iconic people there. I can't think of all the rest of them and things to talk about. Foresters.
To be honest, the Emmys back in the day, you watched the Emmys because you wanted to see the soap opera people get up there and win their awards. It wasn't like it is. People don't realize you watch the Emmys now and you're seeing stuff for all these streaming shows. But when my mom used to watch the Emmys, that was the day you saw Susan Lucci up there. That's the day where you saw Kristen Alfonso. This is the day where you saw all these people. Jesse, the gentleman who played Jesse on All My Children. The Emmys was the Daytime Emmy Awards was just huge. And it's one of these things where it's funny because I see a lot of people talking about and throwing the word woke around. And for me, comic books and soap operas back in the day, they've always been woke. I learned more from comic books and soap operas because soap operas and comic books touched the topics that we didn't want to talk about in public. And I know I learned about lupus through One Life to Live. I learned about abuse and rape through other soap operas and things of that sort. Soap operas push the envelope. Can you talk a little bit how soap operas really push that envelope with stuff during the day that you really didn't talk about on the night shows or
I think, baby switching and, rape, all those things have been discussed there. I had a breast cancer thing there. My daughter was dying of leukemia. We had to have another baby to save her life. And these are things that people go, really? I mean, how do they get it from the baby? And, it's like blood transfusions are not hurting that kind of things. There's so many things that you did learn from there that were taboo. But again, at the same time, the daytime soaps were daytime. Kids were in school most of the time. You didn't get to see them. So they could do these wild, crazy rape things and stuff like that because kids were at school. And then if you notice a lot of the soaps, when summer came, there was a kids storyline going on. The kids were doing something. There was teenage things going on. And then when the fall started and kids went back to school, we went back, oh my God, she got raped. He's pregnant by this one and that's not his baby. Those things all started. So yes, they did touch that. I think now it's like we have so many foreign things coming in, being dubbed. We're doing less. The United States has lost a lot of the television that they used to have. I think there's a disrespect for the people that have been on there and earned them money for so long. I mean, Susan Lucci is an icon.
That's right.
You just ask anybody on the street who's Susan, like, oh my God, they know exactly who she is. Well, she was married to him, and then she came back and married this one again, and then she was married to this one, it's crazy. But and the soap starts. I mean, even when they have that rapid aging thing that goes on. I mean, I remember we were at John's second wedding. And the kids were bouncing on the knees. And then we came back after Christmas and they'd all aged to 16 and I got a daughter. I mean, it was like kind of crazy. So yes, so many different things happen there. I don't know if they contributed to wives wanting to have affairs when they were watching it or not. Or husbands going, oh my goodness, maybe I better be careful about this kind of stuff. But
it could be. It could be.
It could be, but it was...
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, now with streaming things, they don't have a problems with saying the bad words that we could not say on television, the nudity, the violence. There's
sexual
more there now
innuendos
on
were
streaming.
crazy.
You
The
know,
innuendos and the way that they wrote stuff back then to get it past the censors was insane writing back then in the 90s and 2000s.
well, I did Growing Pains years ago, and I was 3 different characters in like 5 years. One of the characters I was a mother playing Elvira. Now, you know, Elvira had that black dress that came down past her boobs to her navel like this. Well, they were like, the censors came and said that this is Growing Pains, children's show, kids show. And they went, no, something has to be done there. Well, they sewed in a piece of flesh-colored clothing there, so it still looked like I was going. What is this? You know, I mean, anyway, it's crazy some of the things that have changed back and forth. Now, with my age and stuff, I think there should be a little bit more friendly shows for kids and families to watch, but kids are on their phone and families are busy, or they're on their own phones or the computer. So we've not become the families we used to be at all. And I think that's part of the problem with when I went on my tirade earlier, is that people aren't paying attention to what's happening around them. They're just watching, oh, look at this TikTok, look at that TikTok. And they're not paying attention to what's happening to our country and to the world.
Right, around
Because it's not just us. Yeah, it's just people need to like say, whoa, you know, and I'm not asking people to go back in time, but I'm telling you right now with AI, more people are out of work. And there's a machine. And just recently I saw a clip that came up on I think it was the Instagram, and it was like the scene from 2000 where open the bay door, Hal. No, Frank, I can't. You don't understand. And we're headed for that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So I do have one question for you. What was it like? You actually appeared in 1990 on the Roseanne show as her husband's crush, John Goodman's character's crush.
The lady in hardware.
and then here you are 4 years later, you end up portraying Roseanne Barr in the NBC film. What was that like, being on that show and then being asked to portray her? Did you have anything? Did she say anything to you?
Let me just say, it was good to be the queen. I had a great experience on the show. Everybody was nice. I didn't see a lot of the things. I mean, as a working actor, I'm downstairs making sure my lines are perfect and in my dressing. So I was unaware if there was anything else going on. Then when they asked me to do the show, Fox did one, and offered both Stephen Lee and myself the parts there, and NBC offered us parts, so we chose NBC. Okay. And so we worked together there. Roseanne herself said she loved what I did. I met her in an elevator. She was coming from her doctor, and so was I. We get on the elevator, and she goes, "You, like, I think you just cried too much. You cried too much." And I was like, well, that's how I was directed, Roseanne. I'm sorry. But she was very nice to me. She was not nice to the other young lady who played her in the Fox one. But, you know, I mean, I think she was on David Letterman and said she gave me my start in show business, bless her heart. And I was like, well, honey, I'm older than you, and I've been doing this a lot longer. Yeah. But it was a great opportunity. She was kind to me. And so was everybody else. So
nice.
My experience was good. My experience was good.
And you know, we got about 7 minutes left of this interview. I do have another question for you too.
Go, honey, because I run on.
Daytime soaps had some of the boldest storylines, and one of the most boldest storylines for me in soap operas, where I felt like they pushed the envelope, and I was like, damn, that was a crazy thing to try to do. I was a big fan of Days of Our Lives with Deidre Hall. And the reason why I was a fan of Deidre Hall was because Deidre Hall was one of the actresses in the Saturday morning cartoon show called Electra Woman and Dinah Girl. And Deidre Hall made that transition from that Saturday morning show, and she ended up on Days of Our Lives. Days of Our Lives ended up having a storyline with Deidre Hall where her character got possessed by a demon, and they had to have a whole exorcism. And in this day and age of soap operas, and you put a horror movie storyline into a daytime soap where it effing worked. That storyline worked. And I was like, when I go back and look at that, I was a younger kid. Now as an adult, and knowing what I know about Hollywood and knowing what I know about writing and things of that sort, I'm like, damn, that was a crazy risk to take. I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the writer's room was like, this isn't going to work. Nobody's going to take this storyline. And it did. That story ran for quite a bit.
I think it did, and then it came back, 2 or 3 years ago, came back where Johnny was the devil, and everybody was getting inhabited at that point. But it was iconic television and stuff like that because it hadn't been done before. But the gentleman who was the head writer at that time and executive producer, and I can't think of his name right this moment, and it'd come to me in a minute. He's since passed away, rest in peace. But he also created the other show with the witch and the little doll that came alive, and I'm trying to think of the name of the show.
Trilogy of Terror with Karen Black.
What?
Trilogy of Terror with Karen Black. Oh my God, that was
terrifying. I can still see her stabbing that. That was the most terrifying thing I've ever.
I never knew that.
And if it comes on as a rerun, I won't watch it because it's frightened me so much.
That was one of my mother's and my
Passions. The guy that did this storyline on the devil was Passions' creator.
Get out. Whoa.
Yes,
I never knew that. Wow.
Yeah, he created Passions. And so he was the head writer there. And I think he came back briefly too, before he passed. But he created the soap opera Passions that ran for quite a while. In fact, a number of the people that were on Passions at this point, but a lot of them came from there. So,
wow, that just blew me away because that's one of my mom's. My mother must be watching this interview right now because you're hitting all the points that my mom would ask you or would love to hear, and I'm almost ready to cry right now because of that. Because my mom sends me signs. I know she's always with me, and
well, have her call me. We'll do something on WhatsApp. You and I and your mom can do something on WhatsApp after we talk.
My mom. So my mom passed away. My mom actually suffered. This is funny. My mom actually suffered from a rare disease that only affects one in a million people. Stiff person syndrome, which is funny.
What again?
Stiff person.
What's it again,
syndrome.
please?
Stiff person syndrome, which is what Celine Dion has now come out and said she has. So it's weird to see Celine Dion and everybody talking about it now when my mother fought this battle for 6 years with this ailment. But my mom loved soaps. My mom was worked in nursing homes, and she was a big fan of soap stars. We would always go and see, people. So it was a great thing. So on that question though that I had for you, what was the boldest storyline that you saw in your time in soaps that you were kind of like, wow, this is really pushing the envelope?
I don't know if it was kind of the boldest one. For me, in my own storyline, when Kevin Spiritus, who played Craig, he and I had to, first of all, that we found out that Chloe was not that was his daughter. That kind of thing, because I thought it was from rape, and that's the reason my dad forced me to give her up.
Right.
And then we got her back, but I didn't want her to tell him because I didn't want to tell him about the rape, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But then to suddenly be faced with losing her, with the leukemia story, and then bringing joy into the world to save her and do stuff like that. I felt bad that a lot of times it was such an impactful story, but it's like shortly thereafter, we were gone. It's like you have a baby and you leave, and your daughter's now well, and then they put her through prostitution and all kinds of stuff like that. So that just shows you what kind of happens what happens in soap operas. You get a flesh-eating disease on your face, and there's all kinds of things like that. I can't really comment on others because I was so involved in what was happening on our show like that. But again, the devil. Remember, we had Swamp Girl for the longest time, who was a princess, and
she was
many
hot
things
as hell.
like that.
She was hot. I actually, interviewed Swamp Girl years ago on this show. Years and years ago.
Julianne, yeah. She's married to Chris Palala. You know that.
That's
Who's
right.
that's big Hallmark person. Her husband, Christopher Palala. I hope I
Yep.
pronounced that right. But she's a
And
doll. She's one of those. She's one of the most caring Christian people that I've ever met. I mean, and supportive. I remember when her mother was going through cancer and losing her hair, Julianne shaved her head to match
wow.
her mom and in honor of her mom and stuff. So there are so many real life stories that come out of the soaps from people that sometimes don't even hear about. But she was a hero for me. And so, and again, there's so many people that I've met and take care of and do that.
Yeah, you've got a real extensive career. You've been in a lot of stuff. We didn't even touch on all the friggin' movies that you were in. You were in Gremlins 2, which was one of my favorites. You died a lot in a lot of movies. You were a victim in Line of Fire, the Clint Eastwood movie. I'm like, man, she died a lot in the movies.
Did you see my kill in Hatchet?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I got like an award in one of the magazines,
Fangoria.
Yeah, Fangoria gave me best kill for that one. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I've been around. I'm like an old penny. I keep showing up, and I did the Burbs for the same director that I did the Gremlins 2. So I worked for that, and for Clint Eastwood, I did In the Line of Fire. And even though we didn't work together there, he hired me to be in Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. So, it's if I can impart anything to anyone that is working to be an actor or any kind of job, remember to be kind. It doesn't cost you a dime at all. It's free to be kind. And the secretary that you're rude to may be the boss tomorrow or the casting director tomorrow. So be kind. Take care of one another.
You know what? That right there. That's it. That's it. We are at 4:30. Oh damn! I shouldn't have even said 4:30. I'll edit that out.
No, you done f***ed up, don't you? No, don't you?
We are at the end of this interview, and I really want to thank you for coming on the show. It's been super great. I might reach out to have you on again. This is just good stuff, chopping it up with you. I love to see you bring that emotion. Like I said, I'm glad to see that you feel comfortable enough to just let your feelings be out there, and I want that on the booth. I want people to see that. But if people want to follow you or watch what you're doing, how can they follow you and watch what you're doing? I'm on
Facebook, and that's there, and I'm on Instagram as Darbo Patrika. So first of all, on Facebook, it's just Patrika Darbo. Don't put an A in there because I don't do that one. I'm not sure how it even happened. And then on Instagram, it's a Darbo Patrika also. So so Patrika Darbo here, Darbo Patrika there. If you text me or DM me, I usually try to answer everybody back. It may take me a while, but I try to answer everyone because I value my fans, as I think a lot of us do. I will end with thank you very much. I'll come back anytime, and be kind. Always be kind.
All right, everybody. Patrika, thank you. My mom's is looking down, and she is like, yes, son, yes. Great stuff. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back here with more Booth after this.
But wait, there's more.
Before we get out of here again, Patrika, is there anything you want to let us know? I know you just noticed that I'm here in the Boston area, but you had something you want to say about Boston. This is crazy.
I suddenly heard you parking the car in the garage. Anyway. My dad, he was my stepdad, but he was my dad. He adopted my sister, brother, and I when he married my mother. And he was from Needham, Massachusetts. Holly Cleaners in Needham, Massachusetts was my dad's family. But my dad was brought into the Boston Red Sox, I think it was, when Babe Ruth was there. So he grew up in baseball. And he really was the first person that went to bat, with the small person. But anyway, you should read his book. It's called Caught Short. Anyway, my dad went on to work for the Boston Braves. Then he moved to the Milwaukee Braves. Then he moved to the Atlanta Braves. And then before he passed away, he was with the Astros because he and Ted Turner didn't get along because my dad, as I said, was only 4'2" and didn't fit the corporate image. Anyway, so I grew up in baseball. Boston is a little part of my heart because I have family there. So thank you guys for asking me to come back. And there's a little bit of history nobody has.
Wow, this is great stuff. All y'all here in the Boston area, let it be known. We're going to get you back on this show.
Thank you. Anytime, darling.
All right. Okay. All right, it's your boy Sinista1. We're broadcasting from another field trip location, ToyBox, that's just opened up in Brockton, Mass. at Westgate Mall. And I'm here with Mike, and we're going to do an exclusive walkthrough of this location. Next week is school vacation week, people. So I'm going to let Mike talk about this as we walk around and describe some of the stuff that we got going on here and some of these specials that you got going on here that we see over here. So
sounds great.
Introduce yourself.
How you doing? I'm Mike from ToyBox. Over here is a 7,000 square foot soft play. All the kids have to swipe their cards to go in. The kids cannot leave without their parents swiping the card to exit. Therefore, the whole time the kids are safe inside.
Wow, that was, wow, right out the gate, you're hitting the points that I have to ask. Yeah, because, you know, one of the things I didn't like about the pizza place years ago that we had here, you know, you had the bands, but anybody could get the bands and leave with the kids. So let's go up to this real quick. I want to show people this real quick, exactly what they're seeing. So they swipe here to get in. The kids swipe here.
When the kids swipe here, the gates open up, they go in. You know, when they leave, they have to swipe one of the red readers on the other side.
On the other side.
If you don't swipe, you get the beeping noise.
Oh,
So
okay.
They know something's wrong.
Okay, nice. So see, right out the gate, people, security, first and foremost.
Yep.
And then this is your ToyBox mascot here.
Yeah, this is Toby. We decided, you know, that's basically what we came up with for a mascot. We like him. We call him Toby. So, you know, and then over here in this side, this is basically going to be for toddlers, basically just starting walking age up into probably about 3 years old. That's what the smaller side over here is designed for. And then the larger maze on this side is designed for kids up to 62 inches. That can go in and play. We also have the balls that you can swing around with to have fun, and bicycles and pedal. But this is a 100% interactive maze. When you go inside the maze, there's stuff that you step on or you jump on that makes noises, and it keeps the kids 100% into it.
Wow, look at all that light. It lights up on there. It's got like a second floor up top. Nice.
And then when you're all done with the maze over here in this section, this is probably, I would say 75 of the top of the line arcade machines that you're gonna find. No junk, no old stuff. Everything you have a $50,000 rapid simulator. You have emoji hoop basketballs that you're not gonna see anyplace else. You have emoji ball drop games over here. And then we have probably about 20 different cranes that you can play as well. And on the cranes, we're trying to do something different than what other people do. So not only can you win this Toby toy, and if you want, no problem, you can take the Toby toy home with you. But this Toby toy is worth 350 tickets.
Okay.
So you can play the cranes, and let's say you win 10 prizes and you have 5,000 tickets, you can then take your 10 prizes to the counter up front and trade them in for a bigger prize.
Oh.
You don't have to take home these toys.
Oh, okay.
So it's called a trade-up program.
All right, so people can see that here. And then right behind us, we've got this nice VR machine.
Yes.
What's that, like a VR coaster?
Yeah, it's VR Rabbits. There's 6 different rides that you can pick once you put on the headsets. You go on a coaster, you go on a mine hunt, all kinds of stuff.
Nice, nice. So again, school vacation week, again, people, is coming up next week. We want to make sure we get in here, show our support. We've got a lot of family businesses coming to Westgate, and we need to support this. We need to support this Marvel Adventure Lab. Now, what is this here?
That's a photo booth. It's a photo booth. You just choose which Marvel character you want to have it with. You can have it with Panther, you can have Spider-Man, Anybody. Probably about 12 different Marvel heroes. And it puts you in the picture with them. So Spider-Man standing there, it uses green screen technology. So you're basically standing next to Spider-Man in the picture.
I'm going to have to see if they've got Wolverine on there, because that's my favorite Marvel character. And then would be the Hulk would be the second, but that would be something I would definitely be in. You've got the super bikes.
Monster carts. You can think of these as like little Mario carts. The cars move back and forth and everything. It's a very good game for little kids. We have a cotton candy machine. We have a balloon machine. And of course,
and then we
have private party rooms. So there's 3 over here, and then there's a 4th one over there. But they're 100% private.
Wow.
People can do whatever they want. They can bring in their own decorations. They can decorate the walls. We supply all the cups and the paper goods and the food and everything for the kids.
Oh, you supply the food too?
Yeah.
What do you guys do for a menu?
Right now it's just pizza and soda.
Okay.
You know, and then if adults want to bring in their own outside food, they can bring in their own outside food.
So you have 4 rooms, 4 party rooms.
We got 3 here, and then we got a bigger one up front over there.
Okay. You know, the kids love these tickets. Raccoon Rampage. How about a little bit of history of ToyBox? Tell people like where it came from and how it started.
There's really not too much of a history of ToyBox. It's more of a history. So there's a parent company called Sunstar that's been in business for since 1984. Sunstar started. And we're the nation's leading operator in arcade machines nationwide.
Oh, okay.
We're also in Canada, we're also in Guatemala, we're in Puerto Rico. And basically what happened was we decided we wanted to try to design our own place. So we took a couple different concepts. We knew that malls alone, an arcade alone in a mall didn't make it anymore.
Right.
So we figured we'll do an arcade, we figured we'll throw in the soft play, we'll throw in the cranes, because everybody likes to trade up cranes, and then we'll throw in the party rooms as well. So that basically turned into a family entertainment center. You know, we're hoping that it takes off.
So kind of what it is, they've decided to just get their own place instead of leasing all these machines to everybody else. And
basically, yeah, but we still, you know, we operate almost 20,000 machines nationwide.
Oh, wow.
So we still have everything else as well, but we wanted to come up with our own concept that we can go to other malls and say, look, this is what we did in this mall. Let us try it in your mall, you know, and just, you know, keep going further and further down the road.
And what do you got going on? Let's talk about kind of what you got going on for a school vacation week, because this is going to air.
Okay, so Saturday we have a contest, best family picture with Toby. Can win a $50 gift card. Sunday we have the same contest, but it's going to be a silly face family picture with Toby with a $50 gift card. Monday's the grand opening. The mayor and a couple of council members will be here on Monday. We'll have a ribbon cutting at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then we have a balloon guy coming, balloon animals.
Oh, okay.
From 12 to 6 on Monday. On Tuesday, we're doing free glitter tattoos. Wednesday, I have to say their names properly because I don't want to get in trouble. Everybody's favorite red monster. Everybody's favorite cookie-eating monster.
Uh-oh.
And everybody's favorite snowman.
Oh.
We'll be here on Wednesday from, I think, 11 to 6 on Wednesday. Thursday, we have a gift bag giveaway. Everybody that comes in gets a gift bag, and you have a chance to win a $50 gift card in that gift bag. So basically, every day next week has something different.
Yeah. And I went on your Facebook page. So your Facebook page, ToyBox Westgate, is up and going. And everybody can go on there and see what you got coming up for the school vacation week. But again, you know, my boys are both grown now. They're in their 20s. But I'll tell you right now, this right here is definitely, if you know, you live in Brockton, if you're looking for a place to bring your kids, this is definitely the place you're going to come to and bring your kids and just spend the day and have some fun. It's right here in the mall, Westgate Mall. You know, I hear a lot of people talk about that the mall has nothing to offer for the people of Brockton, but it does. It has plenty to offer people of Brockton. We just have to come here and utilize it. So again, Mike, I want to thank you for allowing me this time to come in here. This is a great place. 7 days a week?
7 days a week.
7 days a week?
7 days a week. 10 to 8, 7 days a week.
Oh, wow. Nice. And how much of a notification, because I know a lot of people saw the party rooms, how much notification would they need to book a party? Because I know that sometimes.
Honestly, it all depends on the day. I mean, some Saturdays we have 7 parties booked right now, and some we only have 1. It seems like people are coming in last minute. It's almost like if my party's on Saturday, I need to have, you have work.
Well, a lot of people didn't even know this was here, so now it's actually a third option in the city of Brockton, because you have Urban Air there, you've got the Funzy way down on the other side of town, and now we've got you guys.
Plus you got the bowling alley next door too.
Exactly, yep. But this is great. Definitely come on down here, people. Enjoy it. I love this maze room up here. This is great stuff. So it's your boy Sinista1 of the booth. It's another field trip in the city of Brockton. I want to thank you guys for coming on. Mike, thank you for your time.
No problem.
Thanks for coming on the show. And Instagram, you guys on? ToyBox on Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything.
Nice. It's good stuff, people. All right, it's your boy Sinista1. We're out of here. Peace. All right, that was the ToyBox that had opened up. They had their soft opening, so they're open kind of right now. But the grand opening is next week. Next week is the grand opening. So it was a lot of stuff going on. I'm posting a lot of the stuff on my site, so you can check it out. And like I said, school vacation is next week. School vacation is next week. So it's going to be packed there. It's going to be quite the pack there. And actually, you know what? Let me put this up on here for now. Because, I really want to show my support. And it's, Brockton needs these images. We need these things. So, I want to get the ToyBox logo up here. That way we can have it. I'm just going to put it on there. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I've got about 6 minutes left to the show. So I really got to get on this. But I got 6 minutes left to the show. And I've got some topics to talk over real quick before we get out of here. I got to thank my guest, Patrika Darbo, for coming on. She was crazy honest. And I love that. Love that. So, good stuff. Let's get into the entertainment booth. In the entertainment booth, Batman came to town. Michael Keaton. Harvard's Hasty Pudding Award winner for this year was Michael Keaton. They came here, and he killed it. Killed it. He wore the Batman suit, and big ups. Big ups to Michael Keaton taking home the Hasty Pudding Award over there at Harvard. And it's great stuff. Let's also now get into the sports booth. In the sports booth, Patriots lost 29-13. Look, I'm seeing people all over the place complaining and talking all this stuff about the Super Bowl. And for me, was it kind of upsetting that they lost? Not really for me, because for me, the Pats were playing with house money. I knew the Patriots were going to be good. I knew they were a playoff caliber team this year because of the record that they, because of the schedule. And I had said early on, if they win the games they need to win, they can get into the playoffs. But this game wasn't as bad as everybody is out here trying to make it out to be. The Patriots are a young team. Drake May's a 2-year quarterback and made it to the Super Bowl. You had a defensive squad that hung with the Pats, that hung with the Seattle Seahawks for 4 quarters. For 4 quarters, they held them to pretty much 4 field goals, and then once the defense was gassed, Seattle Seahawks started to put points on the board. But by then, they were gassed. So when you watch this game, the Patriots were in this game. They were either one turnover or they were one return away from taking this game and taking the lead. There was a part there where Drake May went right down the field, hit Mac Hollins twice, and he scores. But Kenneth Walker Jr., he ran all over the Pats. And he was the sole reason why, one of the reasons why the Pats lost this game, because realistically, Sam Darnold really didn't do much. Now, I see everybody talking. I'm seeing people talk all this crap. Look, it's a young team. Christian Gonzalez on defense, stop it, bro. Lights out. Lights out. Christian Gonzalez is probably top 5 NFL secondary guy out there right now. Top 5, Christian Gonzalez. You bring, and the rumors are, you bring Max Crosby to this team next year on defense and get another rush off that edge with Milton Williams in the middle, you got a problem with that defense if you bring Max Crosby in here. You already have a solid defense right now that you can't really throw the ball downfield. So you bring Max Crosby here, that solidifies the defense next season. Solidifies it. Then you can go out and get some offensive linemen free agents, because this Super Bowl, it was back to like having the no-time O-line. And when you have the no-time O-line, you can't develop your plays, you can't get your runoff, you can't get your passes down the field. So that was part of this problem, was they couldn't get a game plan going. And you know that you lose games and you don't protect the ball. Drake May fumbled the ball and it got returned. You got to protect the ball. Second-year quarterback, he's going to learn. They learn. I would rather, to be honest, I would rather see the Pats lose, be humbled, and now get hungry for next season. Because next season, AFC East is up for grabs next season. That's just real talk. Miami, coach, gone. Buffalo, McDermott, gone. Mike and Sean are gone. Jets never do shit every year. So, realistically, the Pats are going to be picked to take the AFC East next year. They're going to be picked to take the AFC East next year. They're the only team that's coming back with the same nucleus and the same hustle, but hungrier. So the Pats are in the same predicament next year. The problem is that their schedule's a little bit tougher, and I'm worried because they finished with a record, a season 14-3. They went to the Super Bowl. Guess what's going to happen? I'm pretty sure the Patriots are going to be one of the teams that are doing one of these 9 international games. And I always feel like the international games, it's a wash. When these guys come back from the international games, you never know who's going to win or lose after those games, because it's a lot. It's a lot to go overseas. And knowing the NFL, they're going to put the Patriots in one of these games it's their first time being, having a live game, which I think is Australia is getting a football game, which is their first time. And I think France is another one. So I'm worried about that. I'm worried about the Patriots next year having a game. But again, they have a tough schedule next year. So realistically, you could end up playing a team that's a tough team, but now because you're playing overseas in the international game, it's a toss-up game. Anybody can win because you got the jet lag. You got all that stuff figured in. So the NFL knows this. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not upset. I'm not down. Look, they'll be back next year. It's a young team. They're going to be back next year. If you guys think the same, talk about it. Because the Pats played their asses off all season. Nobody had them going to the Super Bowl. Nobody had them going. So don't be mad. Don't be upset. Don't be talking about getting rid of fake May and all this stuff. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Y'all need to just stop. What are we at? We are at 8:02, so I gotta hurry up and get out of here. Oh, I do have a pet peeve about the Super Bowl, though. I wasn't happy with this right here. And what you're looking at here, right here, is something that I've been complaining about on this show constantly about the fact ever since online gambling went nationwide. I grew up at a time when gambling and sports together was taboo. I grew up during the era of the UNLV debacle in Vegas. That was a debacle. We had UMass here. So for me, gambling and professional sports has always been this separate thing. And then we had Pete Rose banned for life. So it's always been this thing where it was separated. And then once gambling went online in your phones, and once everybody had this access to bet and place bets and do all this stuff, professional sports has changed. All of a sudden, you went from having no teams in Vegas for the longest time to now every team, every league has a team in Vegas now. Everybody has a team in Vegas now. And I'm not happy with that. We've already had players getting caught. We had a whole MMA school that was fixing fights, and UFC had to pull the plug quick on that one and ban the school and shut that shit down with a quickness. Because the media was going in, see these guys practicing and working out, and they're like, yo, this dude's going to win the fight. Oh, yeah, they're going to win the fight. Write their little story. And then these fighters were going in and throwing fights and betting on the losses. You had NBA NBA refs caught. We've had MLB players last season caught doing stuff on prop bets, like throwing a ball in the 7th inning to such and such. Prop bets, and these dudes was doing it, and they're getting caught because the analytics and the stuff that watches this on these betting sites, they can tell, they know how many people bet on it. So if it's one of these bets where somebody doesn't bet on it, and all of a sudden this person's hitting big and nobody else has bet on it, they kind of have an idea, and that's how these investigations start. So what bothered me was the pregame show. Felicia says the Seahawks worked hard and earned their win. Yes, they did. What's going on, Dave Haggerty? Monday, Felicia, no. Wednesday, it's Monday. Monday and Tuesday, you want to be down there for ToyBox. I actually have the paperwork here. So you definitely want to, if you're trying to go, Felicia, you want to be there on Monday. Tuesday, I believe, is the other stuff. So I've got all that stuff coming up, but they've got stuff going on every day, Felicia. Every day next week. They're actually already open. But what you see here is that before the Super Bowl, they had Super Bowl square probabilities. And I wasn't happy. I'm sitting there watching this, and I'm like, are we really breaking down Super Bowl squares an hour before the Super Bowl begins? What has happened to us? Where have we? Did I miss something? Breaking down Super Bowl square probabilities before the Super Bowl. It's insane. I can't believe it. It was boggling my mind. Like, I never thought we would get to this day where, and don't get me started on the fact that ESPN bought a betting site. So now your largest sports media network owns an online betting site. I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that at all. That's ESPN should be separate from betting. You're supposed to be in part. You can't have that. I don't agree with that. And then the fact now that ESPN and NFL gotten into this cozy deal where they were able to buy part of each brand, and now ESPN will get the red zone. There's a lot of stuff going on that I'm not happy with. Felicia said Bella's 13th birthday. Oh, there you go. There you go. It's a good time. I hope you saw it. You know, the place is beautiful. It's big. I took some drone footage. I'm going to be putting up some extra footage on there later on tonight or maybe tomorrow, because I have the other two shows are tomorrow night. Drafting the Circuits and the wrestling show is also going to take place tomorrow. But yeah, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with that. So that's a big pet peeve of mine. Also in the Super Bowl talk, before I get into the legal booth, is that Bad Bunny's halftime show took in 135 million viewers. The TPUSA alternative halftime pulled 5 to 6 million. Don't let your MAGA friends try to tell you different. Some of them are trying to tell you that it did 25 million. It didn't do 25 million. They're trying to tell you it did 10 million. It didn't do 10 million. They're telling you it didn't do this. And then they're talking about the views, and it's like, well, views in live stream watches are different. Because some of these peeps, they don't know the difference. I've been podcasting for ages. I know the difference between live stream views and then the views afterwards. And TPUSA is going to get a lot of views afterwards because everybody, the curiosity factor comes in and everybody wants to see what happened or what was going on. But at the end of the day, the Bad Bunny still murked them. And the funny thing is that I'm seeing some of these people share it and they're talking about this and that, and it's like, it's only 5 million viewers, bro. And it's funny because we go right back to the whole MAGA peeps didn't get past the 5th grade in education because they obviously didn't pay attention when you were studying percentages because 4.55, I'll give you even the 10 million that you're out here talking about. Even the 10 million. 10 million is like 1% of the 100 and something million that Bad Bunny did. And like I said, 1%, that's definitely a number you don't want heading in the midterms. I'll tell you that right now. 1%, not at the polls. You don't want that. I'm just saying. And here's another little tidbit for you. And I'm taking you way back. And I'm going to show you how weird these people think by thinking that 4.5 or 10 million was this big number from the Super Bowl. It wasn't. It's not. It never was. And when you hear a MAGA person talking about this and trying to spew facts, let them know. You heard it here on the booth. Back in 1993, people were 92, people were getting kind of tired of the Super Bowl halftime. It was dull, it was boring, it only catered to certain people. And in 1993, Fox Television, which at that time, Fox was known for this new network that was taking all types of risk and pushing the boundaries of television. Just pushing the boundaries of television. Fox is what it is today, but when Fox first started out, Fox was just a trendsetter. And Fox had a trend-setting show called In Living Color by the Wayans brothers. And Fox decided the Wayans pitched an idea to Fox, and Fox let them do it. And what that was in 1993, In Living Color did a live halftime Super Bowl show. So when the Super Bowl started their halftime, Fox went live with this live episode of In Living Color, which featured pretty much all of their best skits. And one of the skits that they did that pushed the envelope was the Men on Film. They did the two gay guys. They did the Men on Football. And it was hilarious. It was classic television. But here's the thing, people. This was 1993. And in 1993, that episode of In Living Color pulled 25 million viewers in 1993. That was before streaming. That was before phones, watching stuff on your phones. This was just network television. 25 million viewers. It hurt the NFL so bad, that 25 million. Do you know what happened in 1994 with the NFL Super Bowl? They brought Michael Jackson in, the biggest effing superstar on the planet, to do their halftime show. You know why? Because they was like, yo, this ain't happening to us ever again. And this is why the halftime show is the way it is today. The NFL took that hit back in 1993 from a little show called In Living Color. And that show took 25 million viewers from them at halftime. And like I said, made such an impact, they brought Michael Jackson in the following year to do the halftime show. So when your MAGA friends come up to you and tell you that TPUSA did 4.5 or 10 million or whatever, just let them know that ain't shit, bruh. That ain't shit. Living Color did 5 times that back in 1993. So let them know. What you all talking about ain't nothing. Stop it. Y'all try to make little things look bigger than what they are. Let that soak in. In the legal booth. In the legal booth. Congressman Andy Ogles from Tennessee, he's filing a suit. He wants Bad Bunny to be held to cause because of the lyrics and because of the dancing and because of everything he saw during the Super Bowl halftime show. He wants him to be held accountable. He's ashamed. Oh yeah, you can go see it. Go Google it. Congressman Andy Ogles out of Tennessee wrote this whole letter, presented it to Congress in regards to the Super Bowl halftime show. Yet he didn't write nothing about the fact that Kid Rock comes out on stage for the national anthem at the TPUSA in a flag with a hole cut in it and draped over his body, and that's desecration of the flag. You see the hypocrisy there? And he lip sync. He lip sync Ball with the Bar. Ball with the Bar's got to be the fucking easiest song to fucking perform, and you got to lip sync it, bruh? Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. I mean, just craziness. Just sheer craziness. The MAGA peeps, they just, you know what it is. It's, hold on.
Sit down.
Sit down. Sit down. Also, before we get out of here, I got one more topic in the Trump troubles. In the Trump troubles, if you guys saw, like it was the last time he was in before the Super Bowl and he lied about COVID. Remember that when he lied about COVID and said COVID wasn't in this country? And I work at the airport and I was like, yo, this dude is straight lying. Straight lying. And Felicia says, have you read? Yeah, I read the lyrics to this stuff. I could do a whole hour on my issues with Kid Rock. My biggest thing with Kid Rock is that Kid Rock, if it wasn't for black people and BET, Kid Rock would not be where he is today. Because when Bob with the Bar came out, MTV and a lot of these other networks, they didn't even want to play it. So Bob with the Bar was on BET first. And then the black community took him in. And then you saw Kid Rock in the movie Biker Boys. Remember the movie Biker Boys? Kid Rock was in there. Embraced by the black culture. And now he's this racist MAGA dude who completely forgets that it's black people who helped build his career. that's why I'm not a real fan of Kid Rock. That's one of the reasons why. So, you know, you can be racist and mag all you want, but at least don't forget where you came from, bruh. Don't forget where you came from. So, you know, that pisses me off. But got to get ready to get out of here. But in the Trump troubles, President Trump lied in this Super Bowl interview. He's sitting there and he's talking about Iowa, and he says, I just left Iowa. And he says, he says that the gas was less than $1.99. He said in Iowa, the gas was $1.89 in Iowa. Iowa. So I went on AAA, which keeps all the gas prices in the nation at that time. Real time. AAA pulls it up in real time. The gas prices and who's the cheapest. And I went right to Iowa and pulled up the gas prices in Iowa on the day that he said, and guess what?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
Why you lying, bruh? Why you lying again? This dude just is a reason why he's called the Lion King. There's a reason. There's a reason why. Man. All right, I got to thank everybody for coming on the show tonight. I got to thank my guest, Patrika Darbo. I got to thank ToyBox, Mike from ToyBox over there at Westgate. Remember to get down there. They're already open. They had a soft opening. Go down there, check them out. But the real big kickoff is next week, school vacation week. You want to head down there and check them out. Also, Outro Banners, upcoming events, Bat After Hours Workforce Transportation, also Boston Boxing Promotions, Friday, February 13th, big fight coming up. Sugar Shane Jordan is on that card. And there it is, grand opening, February 16th, 10 to 8 p.m., and that's going to be a big day. But like I said, they're already open. So you can head on down there and get on there. But the grand opening day, just show support people from Brockton. People are always asking about stuff we need in Brockton. We need stuff. Support it. Let's go. Support it. Food Truck Festival, March 21st at the Rock Stadium. Brockton Baseball, their early bird registration has ended. Their prices have now gone up. So if you're going to get your kid in, get him in now. Also, bat buses are free till June 26, 2026. And in my opinion, it's going to get extended. Also, Jeremiah, the United Austria World Games. Scan the QR code. Please make a donation and help get Jeremiah overseas. And then I'm trying to get Mario Lamar on to talk about this Brockton's Magic Moment trip that he's trying to get people to help out and sponsor. And I'm there for it. So, hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in the show, hanging out with me. Patrika Darbo coming on the show. Good stuff. Mike from ToyBox. Thank you. Great stuff. And then next week on the show, bro, we're heading into the Oscars. We're heading into Oscars weekend. And for this show next week, I have Russell Bear, celebrity photographer, coming on this show. It's going to be, I got a ton of questions for him. If you guys have seen the promo, you've seen some of these pictures that he, of people that he's taken. And it's up there. It's quite a few people. So I want to thank everybody for coming out, hanging with the show. And it's just great stuff. I'm blessed. I'm truly blessed. And that's it. Tomorrow night will be Drafting the Circuits and Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor podcast tomorrow night. Both of those shows will be tomorrow night. So nothing after the booth tonight. It smells like shepherd's pie upstairs. I don't know. I'm going to have to go see. But other than that, hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. SpongeBob, do me a favor. Take us home.
See you next Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to The Booth on Hoobazoo and HatcherRadio.com. Please follow the Facebook page and subscribe to the podcast at Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. The Booth is a Sinista1 production hosted by Sinista1.
I've got to start hanging out with friends that are a little more intelligent and understand politics and stuff.
It's just that I'm up on this level up here, and all my friends are down here. Me, nah. You guys, nah. Maybe a little more down in here. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I smoke, I drink, I do my thing. These bitches hating, so you know I got to make it plain. Don't do cocaine, but your chick, my main. We stick together, true forever, yeah, you know we bang. I miss those days, which was easy. If only I made it, bitch, don't repeat. Now that I done upgraded, I've been upstate, and y'all think I'm playing. And I got a hit now for these weak ass hoes who think I ain't slaying. Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing, cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip, I don't need that shit, I got my own now. I get home and I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything I'ma have to bring the whole city out.
WHOOBAZOO, that's whobazoo.com.
Enter website, enter website, enter website, enter website.